Aho, aho. This is a member of the Voice of Reason. I am coming to you from outside a laundromat right now, and I figured, I was out for a stroll, and I might as well sit there and make a video. Um, it was brought to my attention recently, a video about, it says, crazy feminist arrested. Now, I watched it many times before, but as I was watching it prior to turn the camera on to make this video myself, um, I noticed a few things. So, to point out to you what I noticed, I'm going to first play the video for you, and then section by section, I'm going to pause the video and then explain what I'm seeing. So, here goes nothing.
He's an Article 4 free inhabitant, so he does not have to have a license. This is on recording. Article 4, free inhabitant, pursuant to the Articles of Confederation. You can look it up. It's in the United States Book of Codes. It is your laws you have to follow.
All right, I will.
Actually, she's right. As crazy as she sounds, and trust me, she gets a lot worse throughout this video. I mean, this is her being nice. God help us. She's actually telling the truth. She's right. I looked it up. That's actually a fact. It's confirmed.
I'll watch back here.
Article 4, free inhabitant, pursuant to the Articles of Confederation.
Put the camera down for me. Is that if it records, that's fine. But I don't want you holding anything.
No weapons, no weapons. All right, no.
Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do is the same thing.
I get out of the car?
Yes.
No, I'm not getting out of the car.
All
You
right.
can go get your superior.
Well, I am going to tow this car, and you cannot be in the vehicle while I'm towing this vehicle.
Well, if you go get your superior,
That's not
he'll
gonna happen right
clarify that he can be set free because he does not
That's
have
not
to
going
have a
to happen
license.
right now, young lady. So either you're going to come out of the car on your own free will, or I'm going to assist you.
I'm going to get out of the car and walk down to that house.
No, you are not free to leave right now.
Are you saying you have authority over me?
Yes, I do.
You have proven authority over me.
Yes, I do.
How did you do that?
The County of Imperial through the sheriff.
You do not have authority over a human being,
Right,
over
well,
a free
you know what?
inhabitant.
Do you want to argue the point?
You need to go.
Now, she's right on the whole free inhabitant thing. The free inhabitant thing only applies to those who are Native American. You apply to a card that says you have legal sovereignty on here on this land, which means basically the downside to it is, sovereignty only exists if you're actually on sovereign land. It don't apply when you're outside the reservation, which means outside the reservation, you got to follow by a cop's rules. It sucks. However, this cop is not showing any real understanding at all. She clearly is mentally ill. She clearly has problems, and he could have called for backup. He could have had a therapist show up. He could have done a variety of different things. He could have handled this a lot differently. Already off the bat, he's not calling for backup. He's not having a female cop show up or requesting a psychiatrist to show up to handle this, because that's what he should have done. This girl clearly has some mental health issues, and this is, he already violated her rights on that in that way.
Look up your
I don't
laws.
have to look at anything right now. What I need to do is get you out of the vehicle. If you have identification, please hand the identification over to me.
No,
Identify yourself to me.
and I'm not going to step out of the vehicle.
All right. Well, you are impeding my investigation. You are delaying me, which is a penal code violation in the state of California.
That law only
What do you-
applies to U.S. citizens.
Well, where are you a citizen of?
I am not a U.S. citizen.
Well, see, that's
I
where
am
you're
a free
mistaken.
inhabitant. I am of
That's
the
where-
earth. I do not belong to any corporation. I do not
That's-
belong to any
Yeah,
country.
but as
No.
long as you're in the sovereign states of the United States, you will abide by the rules
No.
and laws.
See,
and you have
a
certain
free
protections.
a free inhabitant is they are allowed to. They're free people. They have all of the rights of a U.S. citizen without following any of their laws.
Well, that would just be pure anarchy
No,
if that were the case.
no, because
So I'm
we're
gonna have
peaceful
you step
people.
out of the
We're
vehicle
peaceful
for me,
people. You go call them up and ask them, and they'll tell you exactly what I'm talking
Well,
about.
I don't know who to call.
Your superior.
Well, I am a superior to a certain extent.
So call your superior.
Well, it's going to take a couple hours or so for somebody to come down.
Well,
And
just
that's
call
not
them.
going to happen right now.
Well, then.
Actually, she's right. If a girl asks you to see your superior, pretty much in all 50 states, you have to call your superior and have them come down right away. That's how it works. Otherwise, you're violating that person's civil rights because it is your constitutional rights to know why you're being detained, why he's making every single solitary request of you. He's not allowed to just sit there and tell you to get out of the car. He's not allowed to sit there and tell you. I mean, unless she's being detained, he can't tell her that she's not allowed to go to someone's house. Go to someone's house. Off the bat, she's standing her ground. She clearly knows her rights. She knows what's allowed and what's not allowed. This cop is already off the bat, basically, is showing that he's on a power trip. The only reason people are getting on the shit on the girl bandwagon because she overreacts. Because what's about to come into after this. So yeah, both of them are in the wrong, but the cop is more in the wrong right now.
And we're gonna have to solve it some other way.
Alright.
We just need to. You need to call in, tell them I'm a free inhabitant, and find out what that is.
I am going to tow this vehicle, young lady, so you cannot be in this vehicle.
I understand that. So alright, then I'm gonna get out of the vehicle and I'm going to walk down to that house
No,
because
you're not.
you do not have authority
No, you're
over
not.
me. Well, then I'm not getting out of the vehicle.
No, you're not.
Why?
You're not free to leave.
Why?
As soon as I conclude the rest of my investigation, you will be free to leave. As far as I know, you have not done anything wrong at this point, but you are slowly reaching to that point
you know
for
what?
148 PC.
I'll get out of the vehicle.
Wow, and she hasn't done anything wrong from what I see. She's being defiant. She's standing her ground. She knows what her rights are. She's basically doing what she has to. And from what I see, and this cop basically, he wants her to comply. What he was expecting is a young girl who didn't know her rights, who could basically take it lying down. And believe it or not, a lot of people out there don't know their rights. A lot of people don't know the rights as far as cops go. I mean, in the state of California, you don't have to show ID to ask for ID. You don't have to. You don't have to get out of the car. It is your right to stay in the vehicle if you please. So off the bat, this cop is very much in the wrong.
Vehicle for you. I will get out of the vehicle. I'm kidding, Mama.
All right, well, you're not free to leave.
He's a CHP. He's a chip. California Highway Patrol. Okay. A TV show does not do these. I mean, it painted a false picture. Truth of the matter is, the real life CHPs are actually assholes. But anyway, let's see the rest of this.
You're not free to leave. You're going to take the bag off.
No, I'm not.
You're going to take the bag off.
No, I'm not.
Relax your...
Hey! You're raping me. This is rape. This is rape. This is rape.
Relax.
Okay.
Relax your arm.
It's relaxed.
Stop fighting with
It's
me.
relaxed.
Stop fighting with me. Stop fighting.
All right. I'm
Okay.
not fighting.
Section 256. I got a valid X-ray.
Okay. He should have had a female cop show up to detain her. A girl is allowed. You're allowed to hold your purse or your backpack on you. You do not have to sit there and put it down. Off the bat, she was complying with what she was asked to do. But however, there was no law saying she's not allowed to hold her backpack on her back. He went and tried to rip it off her back and manhandled her out of nowhere. And you could see her reacting, saying, "Get off of me!" As in, "What are you doing? Get off of me!" And it's not belligerency. That's a girl objectively saying and defensively saying to this cop who is clearly violating her rights, saying, "Get off!" Saying, "Get off me! You don't have a right to take my bag off my back. I complied. I got out of the car. I did as you asked." See what that girl did. I mean, pretty much off the bat, the cop is already in the wrong.
I'm lifting my arm up. I'm lifting my arm
Your arm
up.
right
It
there.
hurt. Okay, I told you what I was doing.
This is pain compliance, okay? It's not meant to be comfortable.
This
Pain compliance. Pain compliance. Wow, that's a new one. Pain compliance to a girl who's 3 times smaller than you, who has no meat on her arms whatsoever. Pain compliance. Wow. That's that's a load of crap. There's no such thing as pain compliance in pretty much in any form of law enforcement in America whatsoever. I don't care who you are, or what you do, or what you say. There's no such thing as paying compliance. Now, there's called crisis intervention, which is a form of restraint when a person is physically out of control, when you don't want them to hurt themselves or other people. That's a different story. However, paying compliance is a load of crap. He's wrong.
Do I have your attention?
This is completely illegal.
Let's go.
No! Take my bag off!
I can't.
You're not putting me in the car. You can wait till you get superior. You are not taking my bag off. You can handcuff me with my bag on.
You're right. I will. Relax.
I'm relaxed. You got my bag! You got my bag! You're gonna get in so much trouble, you son of a bitch! You're gonna get sued! You don't even know what you're doing! I'm telling you, I'm gonna fucking sue you!
Stop.
What's your name? Argadona, you're gonna get arrested. You're gonna get fucking... Oh my god, you don't know your own...
Oh shit, she said his name. Good girl. Officer Argadona of the California Highway Patrol. Yeah, from start to finish, you violated this girl's rights. Officer Argadona, I pray I meet you face to face. Try that on me. I will throw lawyers at you. I'm an online internet personality. And to Mr. J.G. Wentworth, you're a fucking asshole. Like, you're actually encouraging this shit. You're unbelievable.
Laws!
Relax, young
You
lady.
don't know your own laws!
Relax, young lady.
I can't believe you just did this.
You need to calm down.
Oh, he did know his own laws. He just didn't give a shit. Cops do this every day. They do it all the time. Cops all over the place do this all the time. Unfortunately, the bad apples like this, they always anyway, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Yeah, but all over America, cops do this everywhere. Even the state I live in. This shit happens everywhere. All the time. All the time.
Down.
You're gonna get in trouble. You don't know your own laws.
Calm down.
You're illegally doing this. I told you I was a free inhabitant.
Calm down.
You are illegally doing this.
Young lady, calm down.
You are illegally doing this. I told you this is against my will. You did this illegally. You cut my bag.
All right, you're under arrest.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Give me my stuff.
Relax.
No. Leave me alone.
You can't have this big hammer.
You can go get your superior.
I will
Go get, and I'm waiting right here. Go get your fucking superior. You son of a bitch. Give me my fucking stuff. You fucking asshole.
You need to calm down.
You need to fucking learn your goddamn job because you don't know your fucking laws. Go get your superior and go get your fucking laws.
Let's go.
No. You son of a fucking bitch. Fuck you. You stupid son of a bitch. You don't know what you're fucking doing. You're gonna get fucking in trouble. Oh my god, you son of a...
Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah, that cop did completely violate her civil rights. She knew her rights. Here's the thing. What people don't know is that, cops don't have a right to push you around like that. They don't. They don't. Whether you like to believe it or not, people like to think they don't have rights. You don't have to show a cop your ID unless you're suspected, a suspect in a crime, in a felony crime or in a violent crime. If you match the description of a person, pretty much being of the person of a suspect they're looking for, then you have to show them your ID. Other than that, you don't have to show them your ID. You don't have to do shit. They don't have a right to pull you out of the car. They don't have a right to tow your vehicle. And if the driver of that vehicle was being arrested, she should have just sat there, let them arrest him, and taken it where she was wrong is that she was sitting there. I'm a free inhabitant. We're all free inhabitants, but we all abide by the laws to avoid that. However, she clearly was educated and knew her rights. and knew what was allowed and what's not allowed. And this cop completely violated her civil rights. What people don't know is that if you actually look this up, she sat there and stood her ground and asserted herself properly. That cop completely was in the wrong. He violated her rights. He manhandled her. He sat there and handcuffed her, even though she didn't do anything wrong. He said, as long as she said, okay, I'll get out of the car. She was compliant with what she was asked to do. So, all in all, he was in the wrong. And if he wanted to sit there and have some semblance of truth or be right in this part, he should have called the female cop. Oh, wait, that's right, he didn't do that. He probably didn't have his dash cam on. He probably didn't have a body cam on. He probably didn't have a lot of things on. This is a prime example of cops abusing their jobs every day, and this happens all over the place. So yeah, to whoever you are, to that girl, I'm sorry that happened to you. You could have handled it a little bit better though. You weren't entirely in the wrong. You weren't entirely right. In some areas where you were wrong. However, you clearly knew your rights. See, what people don't know is that, for the far and few who do know their rights, cops hate people like that because they already know that they can't just push them around easily. They're not a pushover. So yeah, to that cop, you're a moron. To that girl, I'm sorry that happened to you. Yeah, the cop could have had a female officer show up to handle help to assist him. See, what that girl now has is a viable argument in court. That girl has a viable case to argue in a courtroom, and has a really, really strong evidentiary case in a class action lawsuit. So yeah, for the record, for those who are making fun of this, the girl knew her rights, and everything she said was completely true. The only reason people get mad is because she's educated. Did she act crazy? Yeah, of course she acted crazy. The guy violated her civil rights, manhandled her, broke her bag, and treated her like shit, and did not comply with what she said. Was completely non-compliant and was in violation of the law. The only reason people sit there and say he handled like a champ is because he knew he was getting away with it. Well, Officer Argadona, I hope you're watching this. Fuck you.